Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombies Love Bacon podcast, episode 26. Still not cancelled, although if you've listened to the more recent podcast, maybe we should be. We are joined by the two other wise men, starting with Norstar.
Hello. What does the mafia and a vagina have in common? One slip of the tongue and you're in deep shit.
All right, that's how we start this podcast. Meeech is back.
You're welcome.
So one joke followed by another, I guess. My life.
Well, at least you could speak now. There was a few weeks there where you couldn't even speak, so there was no chance of getting you on the podcast. And it's Shelby's here as well. It's a little cooked for a Friday.
Yeah, I'm a bit out of it. I'm glad it's Friday. Thank fuck for that.
It's probably the earliest podcast recording we've ever done.
Probably.
I was waiting patiently for everyone.
Yet some people here are equally as inebriated as they would be in the evening. So
yeah.
Not mentioning any names.
I mean, look, everything's a bit weird at the moment. So the time of day is just no
backwards
relevance.
day. I mean, you introduced me before Shelby, and that's never happened before.
And he still had a joke prepared.
Look, I just feel
you have no.
meme.
I have a notepad full of shit ready for the podcast that I've been making for weeks. So like, I'll never run out of stuff because I'm constantly adding. But I only start with one joke.
Only one joke. You can. We should just do a podcast. We just do jokes.
That's just a stand-up comedy routine. That's socially distant.
Yeah, but then the motorcycle club's not going to get up and start roasting me instead this time.
I have a serious note. Why did you say Norstar's name before my girlfriend?
Because I tried to get him. I tried to get him off balance so he would have a joke ready.
Get him off?
Yeah, I just tried to get Norstar off. Just a couple of bros, you know.
Yeah, bros.
Just a couple of bros.
What's wrong with playing Smash Bros and then smashing the bros?
It's already a minute in and I'm already third wheeling.
I mean, that was the whole point. It's the three old men. Three old wise men, not just old, but wise as well. And Shelby.
When I listened to your episode, The Three Wise Men, I was just kind of wondering why you didn't just call it like The Three Tall Men or something, because you're all very tall people and you're.
I'm average height.
No, you're tall.
I'm average height. What do you mean?
You know, now that you mention it, I grew up with a few short guys, in the crew, so to speak. But honestly, I don't think I know anyone short much anymore.
Like what do you think is like too short?
Like for actually no, I cancel that. Dexter, who I play a lot of games with, he's a console guy, is like 4'5".
Oh well, he's a console player. What do you expect?
Yeah, he's a short boy. He's literally the butt of every joke. He's
because he only comes up to everyone's butt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was thinking, unfortunately.
Mind you, I messaged Dexter not that long ago. He's a New Zealander. And literally,
poor guy.
Literally, this is a guy, right?
Double whammy.
He makes lots of money. He's a diesel mechanic. Used to play a lot of games with us on console. He used to live with his cousin. They both used to play a lot of Call of Duty with us, but they'll split screen us. So they had one PlayStation between the two of them. And he's a clever bloke, so he wired it up so they could have two headsets to the one screen, one PlayStation, and we played competitive Call of Duty that way.
That's wild.
And the amount of people that would be like, get to the lobby, and they're like, "Where's your sixth?" And I'm like, "Oh, they're split screeners. They're sharing." They're like, "What is that? Is that against the rules?" I'm like, "If anything, it's a disadvantage, isn't it?" And they're like, "It's never come up." But I messaged him last year. We played Borderlands 3 last year together. We did Far Cry 5 before that. And he's like my co-op duo, if you like. But only on console. He owns like an all-in-one PC that can barely turn on. And that's his only computer. And so the last time I spoke to him, we played Borderlands, and he brought a car, and he was going to do up like he's brought a couple cars, and he was doing them up and whatever. So then I messaged him to this year. I said, "Mate, finish that car yet? Do you want to play? Far Cry 6 is coming out soon. We have to get it on PS4 and we can still crossplay and everything." And he's like, "I brought a house." And I'm like, "Wow, you just hate yourself, don't you?" it's like, pretty much. And then he sent me a picture of this half demolished house that he's pulling apart. I'm like, Yeah, just buy a
Wait,
computer.
Far Cry is co-op?
Yeah, Far Cry's co-op.
What?
it's
I was told it wasn't.
4, 5, 6, and all co-op.
I was told it wasn't. Son of a bitch.
No, it's co-op. The way it works is that you have your game and they jump in as your co-op partner in your world. So it doesn't further their story; it just furthers yours. But yeah, they can jump
Who
in.
told you that it wasn't?
I don't remember, but I remember recently, like within the last like months, I asked someone and they told me it wasn't co-op.
Yep,
They just didn't want to play with you. That's
it's
pretty
not.
Much...
No. I wasn't asking them to play. I was just asking them if it was.
It won't be crossplay, but it's definitely co-op. I have checked. I have fact checked. It's going to be cross-generation co-op, as far as I can see. So it's coming out on the old generation as well as the current one. So, but yeah, I like the way that they do their co-op, because it's like, okay, this is my playthrough, and you can just come in and just fucking wreck house and have fun and leave, and it's no consequence to your character. So
oh yeah,
works well. But anyway, he's too busy building his house.
He's being an adult.
What a loser! Fucking hell.
Maybe one day in your life, Aladi, you're gonna buy a house and sell your computer.
Well, at least last time,
just for him and shit.
Well, hang on, Shelby,
What?
because he basically lives alone, has a well-paying job, and then he just has money and nothing to spend it on, so he just keeps buying cars and houses.
This is what drugs are for. Like, honestly, like.
Nah, he lives out in the fucking middle of nowhere in New Zealand.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's the best time to do drugs. What else is
Maybe.
there to do?
Sheep. No, he's a top bloke. Ladies, hit him up. He gets paid way too much to do fuck all. So he's
and get him before the sheep do.
Get him, get in there. You got a bit of sheep cosplay. You probably
Get a fur coat. Get them all.
Does that make them a furry?
You know what's funny about this topic is that I was listening to the song earlier that I'd forgot had on my playlist, and I was like, "This is probably one of Eminem's most underrated verses." And in there, he said, "Like a shepherd fucking his animals, fuck what you heard," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
It's genius.
That's pretty clever, actually. Yeah, but also might offend New Zealand.
We don't care.
No one cares.
I like New Zealanders.
You like New Zealanders?
Sometimes.
I mean, there's at least two that I like.
Sometimes when I get sick of Scott Morrison, I just pretend that Jacinda Ardern's here.
Who is Scott Morrison?
Jacinda's.
It's called ScoMo to you. He's our prime minister, but he doesn't do anything, so he's not really.
Yeah, every time there's a problem, he goes on holiday.
Hey, Mr. Prime Minister! I just think of the Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
And I imagine ScoMo sitting in a lake.
ScoMo, what a name.
In a fucking lake. There's a whole thing how, because he's a dork. Like, he's a fucking, if you saw him and just met him and didn't know anything about him, you'd go, wow, this guy's just a dork. They reckon that this marketing team just managed to rebrand him. Instead of being Scott Morrison, it's called him ScoMo to appeal to the wider nation. That's how, he got elected. It's just pure marketing. Because this guy's got no fucking...
I could see it.
He's got no personality, apart from being a scumbag.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Then
that is his personality.
Jacinda Ardern is the Prime Minister of New Zealand, and she is awesome.
She's
really
straight
nice.
Kiwi, though. Like,
she is.
She is like, you talk to her for a minute or listen to her talk for like a minute, and just not just the accent, but just the shit that she says is so Kiwi.
Yeah. She's just really nice, though. Like, she actually has genuine compassion and doesn't go on holiday every time there's a problem.
There was genuinely a time where, like, the ZombiesLvBacon community was like 80% New Zealand. It was just, for some reason, New Zealanders were the only people interested in playing games with me. I don't know what that says about me. I probably shouldn't read too much into it, to be honest. Anyway.
No comment. I pretty much only speak to Australians, and I don't know how I feel about it.
It's the same problem. Yeah. 5 years from now, you'll be like,
when you work at night.
I suppose that works. Yeah.
The most Americans have given me is, now I know what a glizzy is.
What's a glizzy?
Now you know what a glizzy is?
It's a hot dog.
I honestly still don't know what a glizzy is.
It's just a hot dog. It's nothing special. It's a hot dog. Who the fuck called it a glizzy?
It started in the term started in DC and somehow kind of just traveled around, and apparently it made it to Australia.
I don't know. I think Australians give it a little bit more than just a hot dog, though. Because I've seen packaged products called glizzies, and they're like being sold as an alternative to a hot dog.
What?
Yeah.
We need to go deeper on the
glizzy.
Don't
take that. Want to be hot dog at that point?
Don't take that glizzy deeper.
We need to take the glizzy deeper.
No. I knew that's where she was going.
Are you a glizzy gobbler?
apparently, all right, I heard something. For every glizzy you eat, you lose 36 minutes of your life on average.
What?
Yeah, apparently they're that bad for you.
Well, hang
hot
on.
dogs.
Hang on.
Every
Well,
hot
I would have.
dog.
I would have died last year.
That's just hot dogs in general, though, isn't it?
Every hot dog shortens your lifespan by 36 minutes.
I believe it.
It's a new study.
I believe it.
I definitely believe it.
What I'd like to.
Whoa.
Okay, all right. Let's go further with this. All right. I'd like to know what all the food does to my time in terms of how long I live, and I want it on the
Well, I
packaging.
know red meat. Red meat does.
I just want to know on the packaging. So when I go to the supermarket, I ring up. I'm like, well, there goes fucking 24 hours of my life if I eat all this.
It gives you a total on your receipt if
Yeah.
you eat all this food. You get, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the meme where it's like a pack of ground beef and like they're putting the names of the cows on them and like a backstory for them to try and guilt people into not eating?
And
I
then
did see
somebody's
that.
just like, that makes me feel better. Now I know where the meat has come from. And like,
No,
Oh,
the meme was they're like, I'm just gonna go look for my name like it's a Coke bottle.
I'd like to have a beef with what's a
Sandy.
famous cow's name?
Yeah. I mean,
Bessie.
if I'm gonna eat beef, I'd like to eat one that's my name. You know, put it in a pie or a patty. You know, same thing.
You'd be one of those people that are like upset that you can't find your name. It's like, there's got to be a cow named after me.
Surely. Thanks, Mom.
I never had a Coke bottle with my name on it. So
Yeah.
You can get custom ones.
that doesn't count though. That's not
It fucking
winning.
does. Your
That's
name's
cheating.
on it. What do you mean?
No. You got to find
Yes.
it naturally out in the wild.
I was playing
Naturally on the wild.
I was playing Destiny yesterday, and I thought I saw Shelby in there, but it was missing the S. I'm like, oh look, there's Hell Bunny.
I mean,
Still better.
And all of a sudden
Speaking
I
of which,
realized,
Space Bacon's on.
yeah, nice.
Hell Bunny is a clothing brand. You know that, right?
No, I had no idea, but
It
I
is
didn't-
a alternative clothing brand, and it usually does rockabilly pinup style dresses.
You know it's also a clothing brand? Shellbunny.com.
Which
It's not
don't,
wrong.
don't look. If Lucy hears that again, so Lucy found out I had a merch store that I long forgotten. I didn't know about. So she found it.
What do you mean
She
you
went
didn't
and
know
she
about it?
immediately bought a hoodie and a t-shirt, and I made a whole $1.80 from that.
Why are
sale.
you upset about this?
I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying I'd never expected in my life anyone to actually buy that. But she is my number one simp. So.
If you never expected anyone to buy it, why did you make it?
Because it goes, you want merch? And I click yes.
So you did want people to buy it.
Sure, why not?
So
Well, I can tell you that I'm changing your command and just gonna plug Shellbunny.com.
Shelby.com.
Oh,
Is there
But
anything you can
I'm
buy from it?
I'm gonna keep my other
You can get a mug,
command as like
you can get-
Shelby2.
A tote bag, you can get a hoodie or a t-shirt.
I've been looking at merch stuff recently, like because we used to do a lot of like as a group, we'd come up with memes and stuff and put them on shirts, and it was all fun. But like all the printers and stuff that I deal with or dealt with all had an issue one way or another, whether it be like limitations on how you could print or just like
Mm.
shit service, things like that.
Oh.
I haven't found anyone that's any good. Even though the guys who made my jersey, as much as they were good, they just kind of got worse and worse and worse, and then they literally got to the point where like, we don't deal with anyone, but we'll deal with you. I'm like, oh, that's dodgy. I'd like to leave now.
I'm gonna be doing. I have a merch plan. I'm gonna go on Fiverr and find somebody to draw a picture of my VTuber avatar front and back, like laying down, and then put it on a body pillow, and then mass buy the body pillow off of AliExpress, and then drop ship it to people. And
So
make
what
money.
you're saying is that at some point in the near future, we're going to have a mass abundance of your VTuber body pillows here.
No, we'll drop ship. We'll have it print on demand from
Oh.
I'll find a supplier.
Oh, I
right?
can give you one of those. I know one that does that.
For body pillows, awesome. So
Yeah,
then all of the people that you
unfortunately.
think are simps, right, will actually be able to find out if for sure they're simps because
And what we'll do
no-
is we'll put me on a body pillow right next to it, and then we'll
Tony, I
track the
want
sales.
Boydo's face with
Alright.
Pratz's feet.
Oh my god.
You won't have to use too much material because apparently Pratz has small feet.
Oh boy, how do you know that?
We had the whole discussion about feet the other day.
And
You
he's
were
like,
there.
yeah, but I didn't take away any knowledge of the size of his feet.
Well, that sounds like a
most
massive you
VR
problem, my
chat
guy.
players have small feet.
What? Hang on, wait on, hold
How
up.
do you know that?
Wait, guilty conscience?
What do
Come
you
on,
mean?
come on, Shelby.
How do you know?
Come on, Shelby. VR chat players have small feet, is what you're saying. VR chat players have small feet because
No, it was even most VR chatters have small feet. She's not even one person. This is a multiple.
Every single people
to 90% of VR chatters and asked them what their shoots like.
So it's like those show rides where you must be this tall to ride. It's like you must be this small to play VR chat.
Because you know what they say about
Do they wear
big
socks?
feet, if they have small feet, then they have small things, which is evident by their
Shoes,
addiction to VR chat.
shoes, hands, gloves.
Tiny
What do they have?
Socks.
What do they have, Shelby? Small socks,
Yeah, small socks.
Shelby.
Their Crocs are smaller than normal.
Yeah.
They're Crocs, or you were talking about something that misses an R in there.
Do you think VR
No,
chat
they're
people
Crocs.
put their Crocs in sport mode?
Man, the Crocs and sport mode meme that gets me every time.
Bold of you to assume anyone on VR chat does sport, but okay.
It's a joke. That one wearing Crocs does sport.
Well, if they're moving around in VR chat, they're gonna need them in sport mode.
Do you think they wear Crocs playing VR chat? That's just.
Do they wear pants?
Can you give us any tips for one-handed play?
When Mamma Mia's on, they don't wear pants.
Oh no!
But like, so there are people that VR chat, right? That
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
But
Have
definitely
small
are.
feet.
that do the goal side of it, right? So they literally aren't like in any way in real life wanting to be female, but in this game they will because people will give them money. Is that right? Like,
I mean, that's just the internet in general.
We got to get you on a podcast with Pratt's because that's
He can answer all of your VR chat questions
My
except
earliest,
for the
but
feet.
what Meeech is saying is like an actual thing. My earliest example of that kind of behavior going on is around Valentine's Day in RuneScape when my brother was playing RuneScape when he was in like grade 6.
Everyone's
He
selling
made
their
his avatar
girlfriends.
into a girl. He made his avatar into a girl and had a bunch of people give him like millions of GP for
That's genius,
his-
actually.
for being their Valentine, and then he just
Oh
transformed.
my god,
that.
I'm a single girl on Valentine's Day. Guys, have anyone got some spare gill for me?
God. When's the next? Like how long until Valentine's Day? I'm gonna
February?
Go to
February. You gonna play some RuneScape?
Fuck it. I'm saving up money. I'm getting a VR thing, and I'm gonna fucking get people to simp money to me, and then I get to go out and spend that money on my wife.
Meeech,
You just
give
have
us
to
your
use the
best-
same voice you'd used on Bliss.
Give us
Oh,
your
God.
best ooey voice.
Oh, didn't I do fucking testicles?
Testicles.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
But that's not an ooey voice. Though.
I don't know. There was definitely some thoughts and ideas that were going around. I couldn't really hang out with Meeech too much. Get a little bit friendly. You know?
Yeah.
I was watching because I've been obviously pulling apart my workspace and cleaning things up. So I had a heap of like top 10s and documentaries and shit playing in the background all day, just like for noise. And one of them was they were going through the list of all the myths confirmed by Mythbusters. And one of them was if you have bigger tits, you get more tips. That was literally the myth that they were trying to bust. So they got, I forget what the main chick in Mythbusters.
Ginger one.
Yeah. And like they taped it down and made it look real flat and then got her to work in a cafe with a tip jar. And then they bumped up her size and then bumped it up even more to the whole like triple Ds, they said. And she made 30% more with triple Ds.
Genius.
And she's like, it's just instinct, I guess. But she not only that, she made the point that it wasn't all men that were tipping her more. There was a lot more tips from women, just out of respect for
I mean,
them.
I this tip.
Yeah, so that's not like a sexist thing, but it's just a boob thing.
It was like a hierarchy. They knew like who their
Having said that,
superior
Or
boob
there's
person-
just gay girls out there, guys.
yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
having
they
having
exist.
said that, if it was a triple D man boobs, probably wouldn't work
No.
the same way.
Look. I have
we
to
have
say,
to try that.
as a I am a queer identifying woman, so I do look at boobies in public.
Same.
How dare you? I think
But-
everyone looks at boobs. Let's
It's
be
hard
honest.
It's
not
like-
to.
My wife do, all the
It's
time.
like the joke where if women with big boobs work at Hooters, where do women with one leg work? IHOP.
That reminds me of the guy who has one leg who does the cool Halloween costumes, and he did like an IHOP costume. Anyway, all I'm saying is, like, and it's not in an objectifying way, but like I appreciate boobies as well.
It's not. I'm just saying that they got science to back it up now.
Yeah.
So on
Did you-
Valentine's
did you see
Day,
the
when you get
picture,
into RuneScape, you just knock up your cup size if you.
Did you see the picture I posted on Twitter recently? It was like from 11 years ago. It was a selfie that I found in my Facebook memories. Well, you could. I'm wearing the one of the little wristbands that says "I heart boobies."
Oh, yeah. Man, those wristbands. What a fucking time that was.
Yep.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
It was great.
Oh man, I can't think of nothing but boobs now. We
Fucking
always start our we always start our podcast by sort of reviewing how last week's podcast went, and I started our review. Well, both me and Meeech started our review by reviewing Kate Upton, and now we've gone into this, and it's just like it's a sign, you know.
There were videos and everything.
There's videos and everything. Low gravity videos, very important.
Yeah.
Gotta make that distinction.
Good.
We just reviewed the last week. How was everyone's week though?
I'm pissed off
Why?
because Respawn removed tap strafing.
All right, let's get into it. This is where I zone out. What you
No,
do.
these
Wait,
fucking
I don't
these
even
bitch ass controller players are just complaining all the time. Oh my god, you have movement and you can move while you're looting. Why do you need the tap strafe? It's like shut up. You have a legal aimbot.
So before we go too far into the rage cage, all right, we're talking about Apex, obviously, because Respawn are the people that make Apex, and they are having a shit season because they brought out a very unbalanced new champion who everyone enjoys playing it, even though everyone else hates playing with it. A lot of people are moving to Apex still, though, because Warzone's just fucking full of cheaters. Like, it's just rubbish. And so people are making their way over to Apex, and, you know, Apex are making a lot of changes. And
Bad changes. Changes.
One of the things that I first noticed when, like, I've always played Apex. I played Apex sort of on and off since it ever came out. But when I started playing with Norstar, one of the comments Norstar made was, "Ha, you're on a controller. You can't do tap strafing. Can you? Can you?" And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't care.
Well, first off, I didn't ask sarcastically. I asked I really wanted to know because I didn't know if you could do it on a controller.
Yeah.
And
But then no, you can't.
You can't do it on a fucking mouse and keyboard anymore either.
So for those who don't know what tap strafing is, it's basically it's a movement ability, basically.
You alter your momentum.
Yeah, and it's skill based. It's not like you press a button and it happens. You got to make it happen. But it in particular, it's great for turning. It's probably the best way to describe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So to simplify it, like if you go to slide into Octane's jump pad, you can, if you know how to do it, like you can't just first time do it and get it right. But if you know how to do it, you can slide into his jump pad and then instantly tap strafe and go the opposite direction.
Yeah. So the basic way that it works is that the engine in which Apex is built on, by default, essentially, when you hit the key to go forward, it sort of gives you a skip forward to give you momentum. So if you tap that, you can skip. And if you tap that while turning, you effectively turn on the spot quite fast. So it's a movement mechanic, it's skill. Anyway, you can't do it on a controller. And Respawn came out and said, well, controller players can't match this. This is a cross-play game, so we're going to remove tap strafing. Where everyone who's been playing on a keyboard and mouse have realized that tap strafing gives you an advantage, has gone and learnt how to do that skill. And Respawn's just gone and said, fuck you, go away. No, you can't have that anymore.
You don't want to know what the worst part is that it's not just me that's saying it. A lot of people are, and I do truly believe it. It's because now console players can play in the ALGS, which is
it makes
the Pro
sense.
League.
Yeah.
So like they don't want them to go against that and blah blah blah. But it's like there's a lot of controller pros that already go against it, and in the Pro League, tap strafing isn't as much of a thing as people think it is. Like any pro will tell you that little gimmicky movement shit that people do in pubs for YouTube videos and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like it won't get you too far in the Pro League because it all comes down to gun skill and positioning.
Actual
in Pro
fights.
League, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like people do tap strafe in pro games, but you aren't winning ALGS tournaments because you're tap strafing.
So what this says, as soon as I saw this, I resisted ringing Norstar and reading it out to him because it was an article that was posted. Well, it was a tweet that was posted. The hate, I've never seen a tweet get so much hate so quickly. It had like 5,000 comments basically saying, bad decision, change it back or else.
Yeah.
Is sort of the tone. But what it tells me is that, to Norstar's point, yes, controller players are now allowed to play in competitive, essentially.
Well, console players
in particular. But it tells me that the console players actually are a huge market for Apex, and then therefore they are doing it. So it's kind of weird because the people that are promoting their game and they're streaming their game and they're making the content, taps rating's a thing that almost all of them use. So it's for them to say we're taking away the thing that the people that are promoting my game use all the time, that's kind of shooting yourself in the foot. And then there's obviously the follow-up of, well, a lot of people play on console, a lot of people play with modified controllers and attachments and stuff like that, and then there's this fact of aim assist and all this other, like there's a whole fucking realm of balancing
strike packs
that Respawn will have to do, and they're going to piss off a lot of people in the process. And unfortunately, the people that are very serious about the game are the people that are promoting it and making the content, and they're also the people looking for an advantage, so they learn all these different skills. So they're basically nerfing their best customers in a nutshell. Yeah.
And then they're still haven't figured out how to. Well, they claim that they have, but I don't believe it. That they figured out how to like ban strike packs from being used. I still don't believe that they're.
I love that
they're actually going to be able to do it.
Well, you saw that article that I posted, yeah. That
Yeah.
It took that tweet, and they're like, "Oh no, we figured out how to do it, but we're not telling
Yeah.
you." It's like,
Yeah, it's 'cause they don't
know. that's like, yeah, I could do a backflip, I just don't want to.
So back when I used to stream Black Ops 3, I had a scuff for a while, and then it broke. And I had a bunch of other controllers I would just swap parts out for, but eventually it got to the point where I just couldn't anymore, and it was done. So I was like, I still want my paddles in the back because I'm so used to it now. You just can't go back. So like, sure, there's a strike pack on Amazon, $30. I get paddles. Sure, I'll do it. Instead of spending $150 for a scuff, I can just use this controller, put some paddles on. And that's what I used it for.
PlayStation make an attachment that just goes in the back of your control pad and adds paddles. The Xbox Pro controller has paddles.
Yeah. But like, I didn't have one of those. I just had a regular. The only controller I left was a base Xbox One controller.
Yeah,
so I was like, I'll get this. I'll use
but I'm just
paddles.
saying,
I was
it
using
used to
it
be
for months.
It used to be an aftermarket thing. Now it's a first party thing.
Yeah. So I didn't know at the time until Hannah, who was a girl I was messing with for a while. We used to play together. She bought one. And she stayed over for like a week, and she's telling me all the stuff you can do with it. You can turn it into a jitter mod. You can take away your recoil and a whole bunch of other shit. I was like, it's not just paddles. She's like, oh no. Here, I'll show you. And she fucking showed me. It's cheating. It's 100% cheating. Oh my god. But then I proceeded to say, if you have all this, why do you still suck?
So I don't.
It's true.
I don't think it was called that. It was called something else. But a friend of mine used to have it for his PlayStation. And you plug it in your computer and you can download programs and stuff onto it, or macros and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, we're playing Destiny, and at one point there was it's like an exploit where
sword jump. Was it the sword jump?
No. This was hammers, right? Yeah. So the hammers will basically was just limited by time, but you can throw as many hammers as you can in that time, right? So he put down a macro where you can throw 400 hammers in a minute.
What?
So then we got up to Atheon, and he's like, I got this, boys. And he just sprayed hammers out with this glitch and just melted the boss. They're like, what is this? But because what he got it for was to play like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And he would use like it with a pistol or whatever, just turn it into an automatic. You just press the button and just empties a clip like a fucking machine gun. Away you go.
Mate, that shit's been around for days though. Like years.
Yeah, we're talking longest time.
Since I was 11, which is a long time ago. Like I remember playing games and you could do that.
You have the turbo buttons.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing, but
exactly.
They've figured out that this little device will figure out that you can do this if you cancel a reload, so it'll like go reload, cancel, shoot, like lightning quick, and like it's got macros and stuff to it. Anyway, the point is, this is all become a conversation again because Respawn pissed off the PC players and taken their tap rating, and the PC players effectively turned around and said, well, hang on, look at the controller people and what they're doing, because they got some fucking trickery as well. And now they're like, yeah, no, we'll figure that out. No, we'll sort that out as well. It's whatever, it's a fucking
They have
mess.
till October.
That's pretty much, the more I read about it, the more I read that Respawn's just gonna make some shit decisions right now and then try to like rebuild the community afterwards. I feel like Call of Duty's shooting themselves in the foot anyway, so they'll probably get away with it. Because at the moment, Call of Duty's like, just garbage. Particularly Warzone. If you go on TikTok and you see anyone live streaming Warzone, which usually is just pointing their phone at their fucking monitor and ignoring chat anyway, they're cheating. They're all using wall fucking hacks and everything. And there's turbo cheats now. You can make your character run like fucking Sonic across the map in Warzone, faster than cars. It's like that game's
It's
just
stupid.
it's crazy. It's crazy that such a big company can drop the ball so fucking hard. So anyway, a lot of people, myself and Norstar included, have reverted to some Destiny 2. Just to know,
Oh boy, have we?
getting on that grind. It's all just feels nostalgic and easy and fucking back to the good time. I'm gonna have a VOG on the
Speaking of
weekend.
which, yeah. So everyone listening, you'll hear this after, but we're gonna do a first VOG in Destiny 2 on Sunday. Stay tuned for next week's episode.
What's a
We'll
VOG?
let you know how it
Vault
goes.
of Glass.
Shelby, you know what a VOG is.
Like a banana?
Okay, let's.
Oh god.
It's a vag without the A.
Meeech, I'm glad Meeech is on the same wavelength as me, you know?
Well,
All right.
the Vault of Glass.
Talking about more superior games, though.
Okay.
Pokemon Unite.
Yes,
How good is that?
it's fucking good. It's good. I only have one gripe with it, but it's more
The
of a
servers
personal.
shit. The servers are shit.
I mean, the servers are shit, but it's about the same as every Nintendo game.
The lag is unreal. Like,
It's the people that are on your team that are clearly a 5-year-old playing on their Switch, and they don't know. And like I saw the meme going around where it's like it's got the point of view of the sweaty people that, like myself, are like, all right, top lane, we go jungle, we get a gank going, you know, and then
I'm in the middle with you. Why the fuck are you going middle with me?
And then- yeah, and then it cuts to
What just happened?
So then that's the response, right? And then it cuts to this 5-year-old going, "This is Pikachu. Pikachu is my friend. We go into the grass. Look at us go in the grass."
What are you talking
What
about, 5-year-old?
the
That's how I play Pokemon games now at the age of
It's-
26.
It's got all the mechanics of a fair dinkum MOBA, and has all the champions that get tweaks and nerfs, and they bring out new characters every month, pretty much. You know, there's dailies and challenges and all this stuff there for that. But it's also a Pokemon game on a Nintendo console, which means that there's 5-year-olds who are just playing it because they think it's just a video game and don't understand any of the mechanics. They're just walking around the map as Pikachu, while the rest of the team's screaming, "Where's our jungler? What's Pikachu doing? Why isn't he helping us top lane?"
Yeah. Where is the jungler? Why is he only going? Why is there 3 top lane? What the fuck?
I've had it. It's like I'm going top, and then 5 people go top. It's like, all right, I'll go bottom, and then 5 people go bottom. I fuck myself, I guess. I just fuck myself. It's fine.
You're killing the buff. Why are you killing? I want the buff. No, how did you get the buff off me? I wanted the red buff, and you just hit it once and took it, and I fucking
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a really good game.
So then we played as a 5-stack, and we're having a good time. But then at the same time, Jelly was stealing my buff anyway. So I'm like, I need that buff. She's like, yeah. I'm like, God damn it, this is just as fucking bad as playing. But then me and Boydo were playing one day just as a duo, and we just always went bot lane. He was a tank healer, I was ADS, and we fucking murdered some kids. Absolutely just demolished. We played ranked. We're playing ranked, got 5 wins in a row. We're getting fucking it was so good. Like to play with a setup that you and you just shit on people. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely that market of there's 5-year-olds playing Pikachu. You know,
Yeah,
and
they should just ban them from rank. Just fucking.
they don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They're just clicking buttons.
Put them in a baby server with
So-
only other babies.
I feel
Well,
like the rank stuff's going to get better because it's coming to mobile as well, which is like the first Pokemon game, like a serious fucking online crossplay Pokemon game going on, where we're going to be playing Switch and mobile together. And I think that's going to fix a lot of it, and also means that people that don't have a Switch can jump in and play a good MOBA.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Having
It's
said
gonna be
that,
good. Blastoise out as well. Fucking
Blaster,
love him.
yeah, he's got the dad
Great
outfit.
bastard. And he's got the dad. No, that's what I was going to say. Do you know? Did you ever watch that TV show Dinosaurs when they were giant
Yes,
puppets?
yeah,
He's the dad.
he's the dad. That's,
Go. You know, like he's the
Not the mommy.
yeah, not the mama.
it's
the dad.
Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say now. You totally threw me off. That's right. I was going to say, but at the same time, is it China that's banning playing games for longer than 3 hours?
Oh,
You
yeah.
couldn't play for like an hour and a half on Saturday and an hour and a half on Sunday, but any other time you will go to jail or something like that.
There's also a Chinese edition of Steam now that's officially made by Valve, and it's like Steam, but it's very limited in what games you can buy and download.
There's 3 games.
And the icon is red because communism. So it's literally just red Steam.
It's
Damn
like
commies.
the more you look into it, the more like video games like selling to China is like crazy. And I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but it's the same thing for movies. Like they only allow X amount of Western movies to be released in China each year, and Marvel and obviously want to get in on that. Well, Disney as a whole wants to get in on that because there's big money. There's a lot of people in China, and that's why when Star Wars released there, they tried to hide that Finn was in the movie because the black people don't resonate with the Chinese audience. So they like put him as a tiny little thing in the corner of it. They made BB-8 the focus of the movie posters when they were trying to sell it over there. Because people there are more into machines and robots and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a whole thing. You can look it up and read into it. There's a lot. And video games like Nintendo for the longest time couldn't even get a console in there, but they had bootleg Nintendo Wii's, and they'll have like a third party that was allowed to publish Nintendo games in China. It's a whole fucking thing. But if you watch South Park, they actually delve pretty deep into it in this last season gone. If you're fucking into it, it's funny. It's satire at its best. But basically, I think it's Randy. I'm pretty sure it's Randy. Randy Marsh, who runs a weed farm for this last season, wants to sell weed to the Chinese. So he's like, he's getting on the plane to go over and try and like convince the Chinese government to allow him to sell weed to him. And all the Marvel characters are on the plane with him, with Mickey Mouse. They're trying to go and sell Disney movies at the same time, and it takes this whole fucking turn from there. There's this whole turn about how he's allowed to sell weed to the Chinese if he kills Winnie the Pooh. Because of the whole Winnie the Pooh thing. Again, look that. Yeah, that thing.
That escalated.
It's
Chinese
like
communism. Yes.
If we want to talk like Chinese censorship and like government conspiracies, we need Frog, really.
I mean, yeah, Frog would love it, but honestly,
I don't want to talk about the Chinese with Frog ever again.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're into that satire sort of stuff, South Park's on the money at the moment. The way that they treated the legalization of weed, the censorship from China, and COVID is fucking just they're on the money.
Didn't even know South Park was still going until you just said that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were.
Well, it's not like it used to be where they used to like do standalone episodes. Their seasons all like go together now. So like if you watch a whole season, it tells a whole story. So the whole season is about his weed farm and the problems that they cause, and then COVID and China and everything else. So
Jesus,
it's good.
Very, very on point with their.
It's definitely you know how people used to be like, hey, kids can't watch South Park. It's not for kids. Blah blah blah. Now it's like kids wouldn't even fucking understand what's going on.
Yeah. I remember they really changed in South Park when Obama got voted in. They had the episode out in 6 hours or something like that, and had Obama winning the election.
Yeah,
and in the show, and then doing a whole like he got elected to steal gems or something like that. It was like this massive long con.
There was even better than that was that they had this running joke where Mr. Garrison was Donald Trump, and Mr. Garrison was hooking up with fucking one of the bloody it's Kylie Jenner or something like that. One of them. And that's this whole joke. There's a running joke, blah blah blah. And they'd had this season all pretty much planned out, and they were doing episodes and everything else. And then Donald Trump became president, and they're like, "Oh fuck! Well, we didn't think that was going to happen." So then they had to change everything up, and they're like, "Well, Mr. Garrison's now the president."
Wasn't it Bruce Jenner?
Yeah, it's Bruce Jenner. You're right. Yeah. And then they just rolled with it. Mr. Garrison was Donald Trump. I can't keep up with it, man. I don't know. all I know is in the show, every time they got behind the wheel, they would run someone over by accident. So I don't know if that's a reference or a joke to something, but.
Oh no, you silly goose.
Speaking of getting run over by cars, Meeech.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
It was my 3-year anniversary about 4 weeks ago of being hit by a car. Yeah.
Do you feel good about yourself, Shelby? Is that?
Yes. I'm sorry, Meeech.
Yeah.
Meeech, are you a mushroom? Because you sure are a fun guy.
Oh. Mate,
Well, like, all right, maybe I shouldn't project, but I personally handle my trauma by making fun of it. So maybe I shouldn't do that to Meeech. But
So you're handling your trauma by making fun of someone else's?
no,
Is that why you make fun of me all the time?
Should I?
Is that
be
why you
making
don't
fun of
accept
you?
that Chip is a sexy man?
Chip is not a man though.
Sorry,
Cat,
sexy
and
cat.
He's a
No,
baby.
in cat years, he's a man.
No, he's a child.
He's
He's
in
a
his
grown
prime.
man.
He's in his
Stop
prime.
sexualizing cat. Stop.
Man, we took in a lot of twists and turns very quickly just now. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's all Shelby's fault.
It really was. It was Shelby's fault just then, wasn't it? It went from car accidents to sexy cats. That's kind of fun.
Came out of left field right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. No, it's I mean to Shelby's original question that we definitely diverged on.
She had a question?
Yeah, she said, "How has everyone's week been?"
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
We diverged so quickly. So anyway, we shouldn't answer that question.
I think we're far past that question.
We're very,
I mean,
very far.
I
Yes.
can say something interesting I found out this week was that Ubers are now doing courier delivery.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for ages.
I didn't know that existed until my brother decided to smoke beef ribs, had cooked way too many, and was like, "Hey, do you want to?"
What, he
have some-"
Ubered them over to you?
He Ubered them over
That's
with
awesome.
beer, with
Awesome.
beer, right, and some other stuff I shouldn't name because for legal reasons. And he taped it up in a massive box, like fucking, it was triple wrapped, gave it to an Uber courier, and boom, delivery on a Sunday
Huh.
with ribs, beer, and other
That's-
fun enjoyment.
I've always seen it, and then but I've never thought of a scenario where you'd need
Counterpoint,
it.
Alati.
But
We
what?
literally got Chip's cat litter delivered last time by Uber courier from Pepon.
Yeah, but what I was going to say before you counterpointed my point that was exactly the same point that you had was I've only ever seen businesses do it. I've never seen just the reason why anyone would do it. Like I've done it at my work before where people will be like, can you just deliver this one can of paint? I'm like, dude, it's going to cost you $50 to send a fucking truck out there for one can of paint. I said, I'll put it in the back of a taxi. He's like, okay. I'm like, just send it off we go. I've done that plenty of times. It's fine. And
My workplace uses it all the time to deliver people their equipment. So if I turned around and said I wanted a monitor, they'd get it here in half an hour.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
having said that, I don't know of anyone within a reasonable Uber charge from me that I would send anything to.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently my brother thinks I'm worth some money for beef ribs and beer.
How much do you reckon it
live?
was? Yeah.
At least $24.
Oh, that's okay. I'd reckon you're worth
I
that,
mean, I'd
Meeech.
probably pay
You're worth
that or
$24,
more.
Meeech.
At least.
My brother
Remember,
thinks so too, which is kind of
remember earlier you were trying to figure out how much you're worth? I think you figured it out.
Just think
$24.
of it in terms of like Uber Eats. Though you pay more than that in Uber Eats to get beef ribs. Way more.
I mean, there's a
Yeah, but-
ribs place near us that delivers.
Don't
Actually,
say that.
well,
Don't.
well, no,
My wallet hurts.
it's called what's that place called, Meeech? The ribs place.
ribs and
yeah,
burgers.
ribs and burgers.
Oh,
I feel like if I
Oh.
came to Australia and had some ribs, I'd probably be disappointed.
There
No,
is
no,
there's
no,
good
no.
ribs and there's bad ribs in Australia,
No, no,
but
no,
ribs
no,
and
no, no,
burgers it's good. It's good, the ribs. Oh,
Australia is, I think, now come to terms of how to prepare like American style ribs. Like they have.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's the only thing they've.
They've
I
taken
don't know.
notes.
I
They've
feel like
taken
the
notes.
American should be the judge of that.
No, well,
We
come
have
over and have some
Americans-
ribs. I don't
we
see
have-
any problem
we
with that.
Yeah, we have Americans that go into barbecue competitions over here
True.
and fucking lose. So
So anyway,
Well, That doesn't mean they're bad. They
Ribs
just,
and-
they're getting rigged. That's all.
ribs and
Oh, yeah.
burgers is delicious. It's
Or
also
rigged.
it's also very expensive, but it is delicious. In that, except for that one time where they just gave a heap of food to Meeech.
oh no, that was a horrible time.
So bad.
Oh.
It was the worst.
What happened?
Oh,
It was,
I ordered a burger and they delivered me a meal for 8 people at minimum. And then
that's a
when
win.
I rang them up and told them I had it, they were like, "Keep it." So I ate good food for 3 days.
and then when when he told me that, I was hungry for 3 days. And it's just...
It was so good. I was like, the
You know-
first day, I had 4 chicken burgers, 2 flame grilled.
Oh, I'm sorry,
one-
what?
Oh no.
Oh yeah. So then they had beef burgers. There were no
Yeah.
chicken sandwiches. Then there were two chicken. There were chicken wraps as well. A rack of ribs. And chicken wings. Oh my god. Oh, so good. And a salad, but I didn't eat that.
Fuck the salad.
Fuck the salad.
It was okay. It was
I
okay,
like
like
salad.
in the bin.
That's where that goes.
Shelby, if you want,
You
you,
know-
can order all that for me, and then you can have the salad if you want.
Yeah.
Is that a deal?
I'd rather just order all of it and a salad for me.
Yeah, but
Like
I'll have
one time I ordered Popeyes, and it was probably like an hour before they were closing, and I ordered spicy chicken combo and then our spicy chicken sandwich. And one of the ladies from there called me. And she said, "Well, we don't have any spicy chicken left. I'm sorry. Do you want me to just throw some stuff together to make up for it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." The amount of food that I got for what I paid was ridiculous. I got it was 2 big packs of biscuits that had 8 in each box, 3 corn on the cob, 2 things of mashed potatoes, some rice and beans, 12-piece chicken. There was 8 chicken tenders. She sent me.
they just gave you
2
everything that
large
was left
fries.
over. Just
Pretty
everything.
much, yeah. And I was like, this is a win in my book.
Man, I got excited earlier today because I got my groceries delivered, and I was bringing them inside, and I'm like, there's beer in here. I didn't order beer. Free beer. Fuck yeah. I got really excited. I'm like, they stuffed up, but it's a win, you know? And
That's
it,
right.
and it showed was like, maybe it's a free sample. I'm like, no fuckhead's giving beer away as a free sample. So
Yeah.
it's non-alcoholic beer, and it was a free sample.
Oh.
It's not
Damn
even a
it,
good
Shelby.
brand.
It's
What
not.
do you mean?
It's
It's
not
not
even a good
my
beer. It's just garbage.
When did you find out it was non-alcoholic? Did you drink it all?
When
and
Shelby
then go-
said it might be a free sample, I'm like, they would have said that alcohol, and I'm like, oh god, it's not alcoholic, isn't it? Then I looked.
Oh, I remember. I think I was 4 beers in until I fucking realised I was drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, no.
4 beers, and then I just went. I went to my brother. I was like, "Fuck, my uncle's beer's shit," and he was like, "Yeah, it is, isn't it?" And I looked, and it was non-alcoholic. I was like, "That fucking cunt, honestly." He'd just been giving us non-alcoholic beer, and I was like, "Fucking."
What is
an
the
adult,
point
like,
of non-alcoholic beer? Because it doesn't taste good. Like, does anyone drink non-alcoholic beer and go, "This is great. This is better than a Coke"? You know.
Nah,
The standard beer
alcoholics
doesn't even
probably.
taste good, so the alcohol's the only draw point.
But most good
That's fair.
beer, most good beer that you taste is partly because you taste the alcohol as well. If you take that away from it, what's the point?
I mean, have you go try one? Do a live taste testing.
Look, I don't want to shit on the brand, but I don't drink them with alcohol in them. It's bad.
Even better, give it a taste. Let us hear your live reaction.
Yeah, no,
to
no, I'm good. Thank you though. It's yeah, I'm not gonna waste putting that liquid in my body. I don't think it's if they're giving him away as a free sample, it's kind of a bit of a red flag in my opinion. It's a lot of drinks.
Is it like when you got that indie game given to you for free, even though you didn't request it, and I said it was a bad game? If it's given to you for free, something must be wrong with it.
Well, the reason most of the time the reason I would get given a game that I haven't requested is because my profile and my games that I've accepted and requested in the past matches what that game is. So they'll go, "Hey, you're a perfect fit for this," and not many people requested it. So here's a key, but you're interested in playing it, and I'm not because I saw you play it. But I'm half tempted just to give it to someone and say, "Hey, save you money."
There you go, Norstar.
I don't fucking want it.
Do you want
You
to
ruined my immersion by hating it,
Do
Shelby.
you want to talk about why you have such an issue with this game and what the game is?
Okay.
Why don't you give us your 1 minute review on
Give us the
Paperboy?
deets.
What was it called?
Alright. It's called Lake. The game Lake was at the forefront of all of the kind of indie showcases. Everyone had been really pushing this game. I'm pretty sure it was even in the Microsoft presentation as like a game they were pushing. Anyway, it's a game where you are a 40-year-old woman who is living in the 80s, and you move to back to your small town from your corporate job to basically replace your dad, who's a mail carrier, while he's off on holidays.
In a fake town in Oregon.
In a fake town in Oregon. So it's got those kind of, it hits those indie kind of points of like being really colorful, vibrant, flat colors, kind of like Firewatch. That kind of meta at the moment is very popular. cozy game, cozy kind of setting. Every fucking indie game wants to be set in Oregon at the moment for some reason.
What's Oregon
Beautiful
like?
state.
Is it?
Norstar
It
likes
is.
it.
I love it.
What's good about
I
Oregon?
miss living there. It's green. The people are weird, but the state itself is nice. They're friendly. It's green. You can breathe.
That's
So
it.
like
Quite-
out
I
on
like breathing. I like
out on the
breathing.
East Coast, so like where I live in Maryland, right? The air is really bad. Like I pretty much had a stuffy nose my entire life. And when I moved to Pennsylvania, which is only like a little bit north from me, I still had the stuffy nose, but I didn't have it as much, but I still had it. When I moved to Oregon, the year I lived there, I didn't have a stuffy nose once besides that one time in the winter when I got sick.
Oh, there you go.
But to me, that just sounds like you fucking just like got an allergy to pollen or some shit, and this place
No,
just doesn't have a
I
high
don't-
pollen
It has a
I
lot of
don't
pollen.
I don't have any allergies.
that
Anyway,
you know of. American
let-
Health I question a lot, so that's like honest, like. Sorry,
Moving
yeah, I
on,
went-
moving on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, what?
Anyway, the game is set in Oregon.
Already.
It's meant to fit all those like cozy indie game story narrative based fun thing where you maybe like also get to date people, whatever. Anyway, it's really lazily made and
Nasally?
lazily. It's very lazy.
Nasally.
Shut up. Anyway, I am somebody who 100% supports these story narrative based games and indie games that come out. But the problem with them is now there's an oversaturation of them. People are churning them out quicker than they need to be, and a lot of the times they are lazy. But this one took the cake for me, right? There's no facial animations or anything for any of the characters aside from lip syncing that 50% of the time doesn't even work. So if you looked at a character and they were doing something and they next wanted them to have moved to a different position, it would briefly look at your character who's talking, then snap back to the other character, and suddenly they've unnervingly just moved without like showing it on camera. So this guy was facing away from us. It looks away for a second, looks back, and suddenly he's staring deep into our soul. All of the characters look dead inside, and the dialogue for what the characters are saying matches it. It's boring. If your game doesn't have shit that happens within 2.5 hours, I'm not going to keep playing it. Because I'm
Did you keep
starting.
playing?
No, I stopped. And I said to Lottie, I stopped playing and I stopped streaming when I did because I didn't want to get to the point where Steam might not give me a refund.
No, yeah.
Don't you? Isn't it 10 hours?
It's 4, I think.
Either way,
I
she
thought it was
refunded
10.
it.
I refunded it.
And look,
Anyway,
from a point of view of the viewer, I was getting bored as
I
well.
liked watching it.
That's,
I thought it was soothing, but I also lived in that state, so I thought it was cool.
So-
maybe it hits you in a different way, but for me, it was really boring.
okay, so we that was called The Lake, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so
Sorry, it's just like.
Lake, all right,
Lake.
Lake.
Yeah.
So that's all fine. All right, I get that. They're all valid reasons. If you're into just vibing and driving and chilling and whatever, probably fine. To be fair, Shelby didn't want to drive. She would yeet her van into the lake to respawn back at the post office to save driving back. As soon as she found an auto driving mechanic, she tried to engage that immediately, but that was faulty. It didn't quite work. So there was just no mesh. Yeah, no mesh, and for all those reasons. Now I want to talk about. And Shelby, let me go first because I know you have things to say as well.
You know, I have feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to talk about 2 other indie games that we've been playing that are just fucking mint. All right, and I mean that,
Fucking mint.
and not and
Fucking mint.
the thing. 2 things about this. All right. First of all, if you are a streamer or a content creator or any sort of sense, these are games that you can play that are enjoyable, but also fucking great to watch as well.
Fucking mint.
Fucking
Fucking
mint.
mint.
All right.
Fucking mint.
Let's start with.
Fucking mint.
Let's start with our probably a very popular thing that's going around now is Road 96, which is
Oh my
a
God.
procedurally generated choose your own adventure where you are playing as a lost or runaway kid who's trying to get away from basically a fascist situation that's going on and trying to get across the border. But the way that it plays out is there's a timeline, say space of I forget however many months are. So you might spend the first 3 weeks as one kid and get across the border or not get across the border. And in the next few weeks as the next kid and so on. But the story is still evolving around you and the levels and the interactions are all procedurally generated. But the greater story is still there. It's a fucking technologically marvel in the way that it works. And it's one of those things where you go back and you want to play it more because you're like, I got shot. There was one case where I was just being my smart ass self, and I got shot for it. And I'm like, surely there's a way where I don't have to go the direction they're pushing me, and I can get what I want without getting shot. And like, there probably is, but you'd have to go through and play it in a lot of different scenarios. And then there's things like you can learn lockpicking early on, and then all of a sudden there's more pathways that are open for that, or hacking, or you get more luck, and so on and so forth. It's a very good game to play and stream because like people come along on the journey that you do, and you do a lot of things that can alter. And I'm a big fan of like David Cage games, like Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human, those choose your own adventure sort of things. I like all those. Outer Worlds was another one we played. The Telltale games. I love all those games and like doing it because I can. A lot of the time, I'll just take a different route, like Mass Effect, and end up in a different area. And people go, "Wow, this story is really different because I'm doing it my way," and then they can go play it and do it their way. So Road 96 is an absolute gem. Great game, excellent game, much better than Lake, and fun to play on and off stream. There's a lot of people like, I don't really do those sort of visual novel style choose your own adventure games on stream. It's kind of boring. It's not like that. It's different. It's better.
Completely different.
What's the graphics like?
Good. It's stylized. Like it's stylized, but it's good. Like it's very pretty.
Retro stylized.
No, it's like painted, realistic, kind of artistic.
I find a lot of the texture work to be similar to Life is Strange, but more vibrant.
Yep.
So you can see brush strokes and things and stuff like that, which I really enjoy. It is like cartoony stylized, but still realistic enough that
so is it like identifiable. A scanner darkly? Is it like that?
I don't know what
that is. I have no idea what that is.
Oh no!
No idea what that is.
Keanu Reeves. What the fuck? It's like the what?
You can't just shout Keanu Reeves at me and think
you just yelling Keanu Reeves. Oh, Keanu Reeves!
Oh my god! Okay, right. It's a movie that every single cell in the film was hand painted over from the what they filmed, like the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Right, and the whole fucking the cast is like insane.
I see. It looks more like a Borderlands almost.
Keanu Reeves, Woody Harrelson, Winona Ryder. Fucking.
What's the movie?
Is the movie good?
A Scanner Darkly. It's a fucking sick movie.
It does look interesting. I kind of want to look.
It's such a good movie. Like
I've never heard of it. I'm shocked. Yeah. I'm no idea.
All right. Well, the Road 96 does not look like Scanner Darkly. But
yeah, it's more like Life is Strange. It's realistic, but it's art. But like, so for example, and I'm not trying to spoil anything, but the whole thing is there's an election coming up. And all these kids are, a topic for the election because they're trying to leave the country and go across the border, but it's a fascist state and they want them to stay. Blah blah blah. But like, so you run into this taxi driver who has issues, and he's playing out this whole thing where he's had a bad time. I won't say what happened, and now he wants to kill someone for it. But when you meet him early on, he's like, I'm really unstable. And when you meet him late on, he's like, I might kill someone. And then if you meet him at the end, sometimes he's killed that person. Or killed someone else because you've steered them in a different direction. But you might be on your 6th run by that point with your kid. Like you might be another kid, whatever. And if you die as that kid, like earlier, you might get shot at the border or something like that. Like people will be talking about it in your next run. So it's very clever. But like there was one point where I tried to go to the border and they're like, you can pay these people, they'll smuggle you across. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll do that. Had no money. So then when we got to like the border, when they're trying to sneak us across, they're like, give us the money. I'm like, I haven't got any. They're like, well, you're on your own, kid, and ran off. And then there was another kid there. And I'm like, hey, kid, do you want to come with me? And he's like, okay. And then we tried to sneak past the guards. Guards started opening fire at us. I climbed on top of the other kid, jumped over the wall where that kid got mowed down.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just, but like, there's a decision. You couldn't have, if you didn't take the kid with you, you might have successfully stuck past the guard or you might have got shot. So on and so forth. So it's very, very good.
The endings can be quite different as well.
Yeah.
You can have different political outcomes, but also all the main characters that you meet along the way who are a part of that core storyline, they can each have a different ending of what happens to them. So it's super intuitive, and also
the characters are great.
Yeah, it brings in some gameplay elements that I haven't seen done before, which is rare these days.
Yeah, it makes me excited for, like, I feel like they've taken a page out of like Life is Strange and Telltale and actually made their own story around it. But the fact that it's procedurally generated as well, like I played it, Shelby played it by herself, and then I played it, and Shelby's just sitting there going, well, I'm annoyed that you got this so fast. I never saw this before. What the fuck's going on here? Yeah, I had a totally different experience. So
It sounds like my
It's good.
theory that men are better at games than women.
No,
is...
it's
Oh, what?
I'm joking.
Is this because I made a joke about you getting hit by a car? 'Cause I'll do it again.
Wow. It's not the joke when it's
no.
real.
I just wanted to see if you.
Well, I think me and Shelby got the same ending, didn't we? Except except one of the guys was happier with me. One of the kids was happier with me or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though I treated him like a
basically-
shithead and you treated him like you loved the guy, and then we got opposite results.
Yes, I think because the different conversation trees of the other characters impacted that too.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a kid, and he either ends up helping this rebellion, trying to help them not be violent, or just
so
leaving.
there's like 5 main characters that you'll keep running into their story along
There's
the
like
way.
7.
I don't know, however many there are, and like you, depending on how you treat them, you'll either learn more about their story and affect their story, or you can basically give them the cold shoulder and just say fuck off, I'm doing my own thing.
There's 8.
Yeah, so it's very good. That's the first indie game. If you're into that sort of stuff, definitely check it out. The second one that, again, Shelby played it first, and then I'm like, well, and I saw a couple other people play it, and I'm like, I want to give this a go. Is 12 minutes, which is
That's look interesting.
it's a confronting game to begin with, because
It's very abrupt with some of the things.
To give you an idea, and it's like I won't talk about any end game stuff, so don't worry about spoilers. But one of the earliest things you can do in there is if you turn the light switch off on your partner, and she turns it on, she gets electrocuted and dies. And you'll literally be like, this looks like a fun game. Light switch. And she's dead. And you're like, fuck.
Mhm.
And then literally your guy will just start freaking out, and you'll be like, what the fuck? What do we do? What do we do? And you as the player is like, I don't know, man. This is your game. What are you doing? So it doesn't hold your hand. The way that the sort of mechanic, once you figure it out, the way the mechanics work is that you'll always get a slither of more information. So for those who don't understand or know the game, you come home, it's all top down, so it's like the top down view of your apartment, and you can interact. It's point and click, so you can interact in things in there. But if you die or the situation goes bad, it restarts. But you get to keep the knowledge. Your character keeps the knowledge that he learnt in each playthrough.
He's in a time loop,
and it's obviously, it's 12 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, depending on how you look at it.
the whole game doesn't take 12 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll be there for a while.
If like I've had a scenario where I managed to kill the guy, came to the door, my wife actually died as well. I got all this information and shit, and then I'm standing in the room like, I don't know what to do next. And it just goes, time's up, it starts again. And I'm like, okay, all right. So then let's go and do this again. But it's very confronting in the sense that the interaction that you have is there's an intruder who comes into your house and basically will kill you if you don't navigate through the scenario, which is hard because like if you cooperate, he kills you. If you don't cooperate, he kills you. If you hide in the closet, he kills your wife, then he kills you. You know, it's things like that. Well, actually, if you hide in the closet, kills your wife, plants the gun on her to make it look like a suicide, and then you go out there, pick up the gun and shoot yourself so you can restart. So it's dark, but
it's also got James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe in it.
Willem Dafoe
is and they play their roles really well, and
he plays every role.
Absolutely. But it's like they don't attach themselves to something that they don't think is going to be fucking great. You know, and it is. It's really good, and the story's really good. It's heavy. You can have a little bit of fun with it, but it's heavy, and it's a good way to sort of test yourself under pressure. Essentially, because it is a lot of the time it's like, okay, well, I know at 4 minutes this door's coming down, that guy's coming in with a gun. Have I done all the things that I need to do? And it was times where I'm like, all right, grab the key, go to here, go to there, go to that, go to this, and then like I'll get to the end, I'm like, all right, we're good. And then he comes in, I'm like, fuck, I forgot something, and then you just have to reset the time again. And like you can reset the time as much as going nope and walking out the front door, and then the game goes no, you got to play the scenario and resets the time. So the amount of time that I'll just be like,
they give you a fail RP.
It's essentially, yeah. But so it's a very good story. It's a bit hard. Most people will be like, I had to use a walkthrough to get. There's a few different endings you can get. Some that roll credits, some that just sort of end it. There's like one that's like the coward's way, where you basically team up with the intruder and kill your wife, and it's like, it goes, you finished it, but you're a coward, and then it just starts again.
How is that a cat? That's fucking ingenuity.
I don't want
using-
to. I don't want to spoil why it's a coward, but yes.
Because then she fucking kills you or some shit. Either way.
My favorite. So, like I said early on, you can turn off so there's a faulty light switch, and she turns it on and goes, it shocks herself. She's like, we gotta get this fixed. And then if you turn it off, the next time she turns it on, she dies. Yeah. So my first thing what I did with the game is like, I'm gonna make it so that the bad guy, the intruder, turns it on. So you go and you turn it on. He doesn't die, but he gets shocked. And then once he's shocked, you can tie him up and start questioning him. And like, there's a whole thing where, he tries to get up, and if you let him get up, he'll headbutt you to death while his hands are tied. So it's such a different game. It's worth playing. And it's on Xbox Game Pass. If people are interested, you can definitely pick it up and play it. For
it is.
Yeah, it is.
Poggies, I'm checking it out.
Check it out. It's good. It's good. What I was going to say is
it's called 12 seconds, right?
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
So
okay.
The way that it works
It's
is
not about my sex life.
12
I
seconds is
beat
the
you
title
to
of
it.
your sex tape.
God damn it.
I beat you to it.
What I was going to say is that the way it sort of works is it gives you a little bit more information. So like, you discover that the guy comes in, and they're like, okay, well now I know what time this guy is coming, so I got to plan for that. And then he'll say something like, I'm looking for X, and then you go, okay, so we've got to find X before he does. And that's sort of the way it works. So each time loop, you get a little bit more information, so you can do a little bit more. And there's actually things that you can't click on the first run that you will be able to click on later if you've got the information. But a lot of people are sort of struggling because they get to a point like, I've done everything, I don't understand. And sometimes you just have to ask the right question, or have the right scenario. Or if you've gone through a scenario that's didn't work out, don't use that scenario again, do a different one. We looked up, I think we Googled two things. The first one, we Googled it and we're like, yes, what we're doing is right. We just got the timing wrong. And then the last thing was like, how the fuck are we meant to figure that out? You've really got to be paying attention to figure that out. So we're pretty close, but there's been people that are just like, I just got to Google what's going on and figure it out. Which is whatever. However you play is fine. You still get to the end. But yeah, it's a very, very good game. Again, to the same thing as Road 96, it was refreshing to play something different that wasn't just trying to be like everyone else. And a really good game. And being on Game Pass is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, and Road 96, by the way, is on Steam and will be coming out on the Switch on
and Origin
October 8th, and is also having a physical release on Signature Editions.
Which Shelby's eyeing off.
Yes.
Speaking of Signature Editions, I just want to quickly segue to something. The sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, the PlayStation exclusive fucking great game, got pushed back to February next year, which is about expected. But the physical editions went on pre-order today, and oh my lord, they're pretty.
What?
Of Horizon Zero Dawn,
the new one. Back to February.
Yeah.
I think it's still going to come out before New World.
Shut up. So one of the big things is they got these huge mecha elephants that are in there, and they've got the statuette that comes with that in the special edition. So there's two special editions. And this is a little bit of a gripe of mine. So one comes with the elephant statuette, soundtrack, little art book, heap of DLC stuff that comes with it, whatever else. That's $300 for the special edition, which you can pick up from like EB Games, GameStop, so on and so forth. Then there's the limited edition special edition, which is $400, which comes with an Eloy statuette with the thing and just a little bit more, but $400 for the physical copy of the game. Which is exclusive to JB Hi-Fi if you want to get it. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, that statue's not worth $300, and that art book and stuff like that. That's a lot. But people are going nuts for it. I believe it's sold out.
I can't even see it. So it's sold out.
It looks good. But I think EB Games, I think they did like a full countdown to it. JB Hi-Fi just put it up there and everyone went wild.
It's gone. It's gone. It's not on the store. I can't.
But then, okay, so then I considered for a moment, I'm like, I'm going to fucking play the shit out of this game because it's good, yeah? I went to the JB Hi-Fi thing, and then with COVID and everything else, you can pre-order it, but then they're like, they're not sure if they're going to have them in store, so you can't click and collect them, so you have to click and deliver. And I'm like, do I want to buy a special edition $400 game, wait for them to deliver it, probably not on launch day, and they might fuck it up and send it to the post office, or even better, just leave it downstairs on the doorstep for someone to pick up? I'm like, I don't really want to do that with $400 collection edition. So
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. So then I looked at the JB Hi-Fi one, and I'm like, well, this isn't the special. This is the special edition.
So you bought the $400 one?
I didn't
You
buy
bought
any
it?
one. No.
Oh, you didn't get it.
I didn't do it. I think I'm safe. I can. You can pick up statuettes and stuff like that cheaper. I'm sure.
I fucking Shelby 3D print you one. I'll make it.
I didn't bring my 3D printers with me when I
Yeah,
moved
you saw
out.
the size of our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking. You make space for 3D printers.
No.
Okay?
I wish.
No, you make space for air fryers.
No, I honestly.
Look, Norstar, you'll be happy
we-
I've made space for an air fryer. Anyway,
We,
continue.
we're buying one soon as well. I showed my wife something, and I showed her crumpets and cheese
garlic
with
bread
garlic
crumpet.
butter.
I've
And
seen that. Yeah.
she lost her mind and was like, okay, where can we get one? When can we buy it? So tomorrow we're going out and buying one because I showed her crumpet garlic bread.
Do you know how many fucking air fryers you can get for a Horizon Zero Dawn special edition?
A lot.
You two need to set up a dono goal for an air fryer. I'm in there.
Okay, I'll do that tonight. You know what? If I reach a donor goal, I'll buy an air fryer.
I just dropped in the podcast chat that
Don't try to milk me, all right? You better get like a cheap air fryer.
They're cheap as fuck.
there they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
$20 doing
I
that.
actually saw another streamer who's like just moved into their place and like, I really want an air fryer. I miss my parents' air fryer. They're like, I just want this one. It's $98, and actually it looks pretty decent. And she just put a dono go. She didn't even stream. She just put a dono go on Twitter, and people just brought her an air fryer because they're just all the air fryer cult came out and said, "You need an air fryer. How are you going to live?"
You do.
There's one for $49 on Kmart. Like the fuck, 3.2 liter air fryer for $50.
So
That's insane.
Liters, you say?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like a whole
official
chicken.
measurement of everybody.
So this kind of proves my point that I was trying to make, which is $400 for a special edition game is too much when you can buy an air fryer for under $100.
Yeah.
It's like
You can buy
That offers way more value.
it's like in my line of work at the hardware store, every year we have pedestal fans for summer, obviously. And I could tell you that the cheapest we've brought them, and we buy them from China, they come over on a boat. Like we have to plan it 8 months in advance. But they cost us $7 to make. It's like, how do you make, like they've got an engine in them and everything. Like it's electric, sure, but it's like $7 for a fucking pedestal fan. And then here you are, a little statue of a fucking thing from a video game is going to cost you $400. The whale's gone nuts.
It's because
Because
Reasons.
there's not as much art
Reasons.
and craft and labor that goes into it.
Do you reckon?
I've got the answer.
Yeah.
Right? We just make a Horizon Zero
Well,
Dawn
let
themed
me-
pedestal fan.
There's a lot of labor. They're just not paying for it, you know.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what? You could literally put a red LED light on the middle of the fan and just say it's one of those Velociraptor.
No, even better. I've got it. You put RGB on it. You call it a gamer fan. $99.
You
Yeah,
fucking
fair.
you sell two at a time and then put like a kawaii goal above it, and the fans are boobs, and you've fucking got it.
OnlyFans. We call it OnlyFans.
And on that note, as we're heading towards the end of our time, I just want to update everyone
On your OnlyFans.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Yet.
I'm
Yet.
pretty close to convincing my wife to do one, just so.
Oh
we can
my
make money.
goodness.
Honestly, take photos of your feet, and fucking weirdos will buy it.
Yeah.
That's what. Small VR chatters.
You just
whatever.
need to get her signed up to Fit Finder. Anyway,
I don't get. She probably got. I probably got prettier feet than her. I don't fucking.
paint your
pic-
toenails. No one will know.
Yeah, take pictures of your feet. Claim it's
Yeah.
It's
I don't
really
even
hard
have.
to get
I
to this
don't even
point
have a
with
little
Australia.
toenail. My fucking little toe is so fucked. I don't even have a toenail.
Photoshop it on.
People are into that.
Cut out a piece of
Photoshop it
toenail.
on.
I don't even have.
Look, on that uplifting note of our feet, I
Yeah.
was trying to get to. I just want to update everyone. We ordered a couch last night.
Got puggies?
I'm,
a big deal.
I'm one of the. I don't believe it until I see it. It feels like forever talking about this damn couch.
It's coming. It's ordered. It's
Unrelated topic. I am 1300 on my Titan now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But by the time you listen to this podcast, and definitely by the time we record the next episode of the podcast, if the next episode of the podcast is titled "No Fucking Couch," then it didn't happen because it's meant to happen in 4 days. So
Just debate it.
yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I have very little faith in most people. That sounds bad.
You know what? Like, I'll go with you on that. I actually hate everyone. Like, I don't like people. In general.
Relatable.
I don't trust anyone at all. Like,
I had this conversation with I was catching up with Innocent during the week, and she said, you know, what's it? How you going? I said, oh, you know, lockdown. Basically, just I only really see Shelby now, and that's it. And you know, but I'm like, it's fine. People suck. She's like, not all people, just most. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
That's fair.
A lot of people suck. Honestly, it's like a time where
He's so blasé about me being the only person he sees.
And only half of them swallow.
You didn't see the whole conversation. I probably said lovely things about you, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would never say it.
Chip, on the other hand.
Yeah, he's a sexy man.
Yeah, he's Chip. Honestly, like. It's the only reason I watch your streams, dude, and I have seen a lack of Chip. So
The thing is, he's gotten too big, and he's such a fucking bro. Like he gets up on the desk and then he's like, "Yo, you playing on the keyboard? It'd be a real shame if someone pulled all your cables out." It's like, well, yeah, all right, thanks, man. It's fuck
Look,
you.
Meeech, just to satisfy you, there is a channel point reward for summon the cat, and it's 10,000 channel points. But he'll go and get the cat if he has to get on his hands and knees, get under the bed, and gets the cat.
Hates it.
I gambled a lot of money believing you weren't going to do good in the game.
Same.
Right? And I won. So I've got
Multiple
lots of
times.
channel points
Oh,
to spend on being...
That was, you know what? That was actually the fun thing about playing the Road 96 game is every time I started another run with one of the kids, I'd go, am I going to make it across the wall? Let's go. And there was like I said, with the one where I didn't have the money and I was telling people I had money to get across the wall, people were getting nervous. They're like, he's not gonna make it over. And then I just threw that kid in front of the bullets and jumped over the wall. It's great. There's a point in the game where there's a very influential character who wants you to help them get across the wall. And you get to the point where you basically go, me or them. You know, only one of us is getting across. And I literally could make the decision on who got points and who didn't. In my run, I sacrificed myself and got them across the wall. But I did watch Frog throw that bitch into the... He's like, yeet, I'm out of here.
No. Didn't he... Because I did the 2 playthroughs, one of each style. But didn't he or someone else I watched, they got shot. And they were on the ground, and so she came to help them.
That's
and
right.
Then she got thrown on the ground, and then he escapes.
Yeah, he's just like, yeet, I'm out of here.
It's pretty fun.
My favorite part of Road 96, and I know I've talked a lot about it, but it's just a fucking gold because everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? Because there's one way you can go to the border and you'd be like, oh, I'm legitimate. I'm crossing the border for work. And like, cool, you just need to answer a few questions. Now, I was a 14-year-old kid. And one of the rules for going across the border is that you're only allowed to go to work to support your family. So I'm like, yeah, I'm a family man. And they're like, okay, cool. How old's your kid? I'm like, 5 years old. And he's like, and then he goes, now you have to answer me truthfully. Did you tell the truth? And I'm like, no. And he goes, I know that you didn't tell the truth. Obviously, because I didn't have a kid when I was 9, right? but then I'm like, here's $30. Don't tell anyone. And he's like, all right, I won't tell anyone. Good luck. And everyone's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, boy, I'm through. Fucking great game. It makes me want to go back and play like Fallout and shit like that and just like screw with people and not play it seriously. But, you know, actually, I probably want to play, I don't know, fucking know. I just want more game like that. Give me Road 97. Let's go.
Yeah, give me more. Even like a prequel series would fit in really well. Just more, please.
Just sounds like play Papers, Please, because it's kind of funny.
That's fun as well, but that's like there's only so much you can stream.
Yeah,
stream that.
It's true. It's not a game you're playing for.
Yeah, some people are super addictive and like play that game on the regular though. But yeah, I don't know. It's I was talking the other day. There's a stack of games coming out in the next few months, but at the same time, nothing groundbreakingly amazing, you know? Like, it's nothing huge. Like, Battlefield's coming, but, like, it's Battlefield, and everyone knows what's going on there.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, in Call of Duty, have really, really outdone themselves in doing nothing. So there's that. Let me have a look. Life is Strange would be interesting, but again, it's just more of Life is Strange. Deathloop has the potential to go either way. I'm just looking at my list now. Deathloop is made by Arcane Studios under the Bethesda umbrella these days, and it's one of Bethesda's last PlayStation games because obviously they're owned by Xbox now. So there was a deal that was struck up before they went to Xbox. Kena, which is looks like just a fun sort of action adventure game for PlayStation. Obviously, New World. Who knows when that's coming out? To Noah's point, might be next year for all fucking we know.
Maybe.
Far Cry 6, I feel like they've been talking.
Grand Theft Auto will probably come out with something by then.
Fuck, who knows? Far Cry 6, I feel like they've been talking about that for years. I think that'll be just as good as the other Far Cries. But again, we know what we're in for. Although it's got old mate who plays Gus Fring out of bloody Breaking Bad, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Is it Just Cause as well coming out? Isn't it Just Cause?
I think that's next year. Age of Empires 4, but again, it's Age of Empires. Forza Horizon 5, again, it's just more Forza.
Age of Empires comes out in November, right?
October 28th.
Oh, we're playing it, right?
Yeah, it's going to be on Game Pass, bruh.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, Forza Horizon 5, it's just more Forza Horizon. Don't expect a lot. Pokemon, it's a remake. Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2, it looks good, but they've been working on that shit for so long. And I remember that they put out a build that they gave to influencers 3 years ago. Like, there was people making content in Dying Light 2 3 years ago, and then they're like, we've got more work to do for fucking 3 years. So, I don't know. That's always kind of a iffy. But that's it for the rest of the year. The next thing's Halo. It comes out in December, and there's not really much else. I know that there's Tokyo Game Show this weekend.
Something might came out, but from probably Nintendo. There's a new Pokemon, new Pokemon.
They got the new LED Switch that's coming out, and then they've got Metroid Dread that's coming out.
Pokemon Soul and Silver.
But that's a remake. This is what I'm talking about.
But then they've got the
Acuris is end of January.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck! I thought that was like in a month.
No. The remake's the next, and then that's in the end of January.
Fuck, man. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All the stuff that's like breaking is being pushed to February, March next year.
Fuck, I hate COVID. Fuck.
It's basically COVID, yeah.
That another reason why I hate COVID. There you go.
But even Metroid Dread, which is a new 2D Metroid game, that they're like, wow, it's so great to be coming back to. If you look up the history of that game, it was pitched and developed for Game Boy in the year 2013, and it's just been like dissolved and reassembled over and over and over for decades before Nintendo's like, we need a new Metroid game, and like, well, we've got this half-finished thing, and like, all right, let's get it going, and they just put it on there because they were working on Metroid 4, decided it was shit, absolutely scrapped it, and got new developers in to make it again. So that's not coming out anytime soon. So it's like it's such a weird time. We're going to get this whole holiday season is going to be made up of sequels and remakes. Nothing new and exciting. So the new and exciting is coming from indie games now, and that's it. And unless it's Lake, and in that case, you're just disappointing Shelby, basically.
I'm gonna be mad about that for weeks.
But yeah, so yeah, it is what it is. Like, even there's a Mario Party game, but it's coming out, and it's all the old Mario parties. It's not even new content.
Not even good. Yeah, it's not even new stuff.
And then and to your earlier comment, GTA, the rumor is that they're going to bring out the remakes.
Yeah, Liberty City and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's like, all right, I mean, cool, but also, where's their new stuff?
Anyway. Where is our new stuff? Yeah,
a long way away if you believe the rumors.
Yeah, Jesus.
Long way away. Why is there a pop-up on my Twitter that says eating a single hot dog may take 36 minutes off it? Shelby!
They're listening, always.
They're listening, always.
I'm going to buy me some hot dogs because I'm feeling bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my friend's on the cover of GQ magazine. What the fuck?
It's random.
Yeah, I just looked on Twitter because you said something, and then it's a picture of my mate on the cover of GQ.
Anyway, we should probably wrap things up for this week. Is there anything you'd like to add, Shelby? Maybe another indie game that you can predict? I mean, so far you've said that we should play Ghost Hunters Corp, and we refunded that. And then you said we should play Lake, and we've refunded that. So what's next?
Great question. You really put me on the spot here because that was like the last indie thing that I was excited about. So
wow, really destroyed you. Okay, cool. Well,
can I come back to you next week with
sure. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap things up. It's that time we should plug ourselves. Do you want to start with Shelby, who is streaming every now and then again?
Yeah, I'm back. You
great
can
indie
find
titles.
me at twitch.tv/ShellBunny, ShellBunny _ on Twitter, ShellBunny94 on TikTok, or you can find my merch at ShellBunny.com, and soon there'll be body pillows.
Sick. Yeah, we'll even we'll try and get a discount code or something for the podcast. 10% off your body pillow.
Just don't tell me what you do with it.
Just anyway.
Fill it with chicken fillets. Oh.
Well, if Pratt's orders one, we can assume.
Oh God.
If you fill it with chicken fillets,
Stop.
then it feels real fresh.
Stop. It's going down a grapefruit route real quick, and then we don't want to go.
Speaking of grapefruit,
oh God, yeah, Norstar.
Does the podcast know about grapefruit? All right, Norstar TV on every social, Twitch, just Norstar. And just have a quick question. Why don't witches wear underwear?
I saw that, and I don't want to know.
Oh, it's so they can get a better grip.
Anyway, Meeech.
Yeah, I'm not really doing too much. So
you still do Dungeons and Dragons on
D&D on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Smeechul, so that's Meechul with a sm. And then my Instagram is Meechul, which is Meechul without the sm.
Oh my God. Do you want to make it more complicated or?
Yeah.
And obviously the ZLB podcast on Twitter is the best place to follow. And make sure you check out, subscribe at all the major platforms, listen, recommend it to your friends, tell all the people in VRChat to listen. We want to get your comments. If you could just comment with the size of your feet, that'd be fantastic. It's not weird, it's for science. We just want to know if your feet are small.
We need these numbers.
Rats, if you're listening, get us some numbers. But apart from that, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week. So have a great time. Goodbye.
Bye.